Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? I know you can't see anything right now, but that's okay. Now you can. All right. So, welcome to the Dieselfunk Dispatch. This is we're approaching the end of our second week. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. This has been a real ride. I am trying my best to multitask and probably multitasking very badly, but it's okay. I think I'm okay. Instagram might be running today, but it might be black. Oh my God. Oh, Instagram might be running, but it's right now at this present time. It is a black screen. Hang on, hang on. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Let's see what the world is going on here. Okay. I have tried my best. I've looked at the stuff. Now, right now, you probably can't see anything, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Let's go with Instagram here. Okay. We want to go to, oh my goodness. Oh, oh, that's the thing that it's doing there. That's what's okay. Now, if Instagram is screwing up on this, it's okay because I think we can make it work. We might not be able to make it work today, but we are getting closer to where we were. Now, what I'm going to do here, because I can do it, I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to click right there. All right, let's go here. Yep, okay, here we go. I'm going to, oh, whoops, nope, don't want to do that, because I just did it. All right, let's go here. All right, I don't want to screw this up. I've been trying so hard to get this right. It's like it's amazing. All right, so there's Instagram. All right. So we got Facebook camera, got this thing here. Now we need to add one thing here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a hang on, guys. Just stick with me today. This might be the day. Might be today. I'm not sure, but it might be today. Let's see. We can go here and display capture. Is that what we want? All right, we're going to click here. Yes, maybe, just for today, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stick with Photoshop. And I can always go back and change that. I can always go back and change that. Okay, that don't look to be working yet. Let's cancel that. All right, so we can go here. We're going to delete. All right, for now, it's going to be a little weird, but I'm going to leave this there, and we will see what we can see. All right, for right now. All right. So, Tim Fielder, Dieselfunk Dispatch. Chat should be working in YouTube now. I see both of them. I see live now. I'm going to click both of them. So, chat should be active in both Dieselfunk Dispatch. You can send me insults, whatever you need to do to just let me know what's up and what's going on. It is such a pleasure to finally be able to sort of do this. All right. Wow. Look at that. All right. So, today, let's go back to Clip Studio Paint. You all see the title here. It's generative AI. It's actually, this is not the one here. We're going to figure this out. But right now, I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know why that's not working there. But we're not going to worry about it for now. We're good for right now. I think we're good. And what I'm going to do here is today, I am streaming. I'm going to showcase a little illustration. Instead, I will do some comic stuff, but my job today is to work with Greg Anderson Elise's and David Brain's Hammer. They have a Kickstarter going. I think they just made their goal, and I was supposed to have done an image for them a while ago, but at the time I kept, I was working, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna get to it. Then another week would pass, then another week passed. Then I almost died. And that did not work well for production. However, what we're going to do here today is and I'll talk about Greg and David's work, and we'll have a link to their Kickstarter in a bit. But let me just do a little search here. I'm going to call it Hammer. All right, here we go. We have, there it is. There it is. And we're going to go, I'm going to move this into Clip Studio Paint. There we go. All right. Hammer. Now, this is the sketch that I had done a while ago. And this sketch was going to be Hammer. And Greg and David, they the sexy guys. They're always sexy, always doing sexy stuff. It's very disturbing, right? And I had done this drawing here. I thought was kind of cool, and it was toned, but of course, I have to finish rendering it out and stuff. I was going to use all of my different techniques, and I put the highlights in, and they did approve it, which was good. I don't know why that is not working. Well, we have a spinning disc now because I'm putting my machine through its paces. All right, so we got Hammer here. All righty. Now, I'm going to get to this, but before I do that, I don't know if I'm going to use necessarily AI to enhance this. For right now, we got a good start here. You can just see the different variants I went through. I was going to try it like that. You want to do the thing, but David and David, they like showing penises, man. They like showing penises in their work. I don't know why, but that's what they like. It's all good, though. Right, because we're not afraid of such things. But meaning, we can speak a little bit more intellectual. They love showing the human form, right? Which is a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. Showing the human form is great. So this was the one I went to, right? And for some reason, they preferred and I had the hammer there. So the hammer was like this. They didn't like that version there. They wanted it down low, which is fine. That's fine. So here, right? So they wanted it lower, which is good, which is very, very good. What's that? And of course, I had considered moving it in. I had done his face, which is pretty weird. But here's what we're going to do, because now I'm getting back to this. I'm not let's just do this. I'm going to reduce this down just a little bit. Just a smidgen, y'all. All right? All right? And, I don't need perfection. I just need completed. I'm going to do this, and if I can, I kind of like that lower angle there. That's kind of hot, but I do need a little bit more of the body in here. There we go. Okay, I think I can live with this. All right, so let's zoom in here a little bit, and we're gonna go here. Yes, I see. Now people criticizing me. I can't figure it out. Lord help me. I know. Dial 555. This is terrible, but I don't know what I'm doing. So hang on. Let me see. Can I flip this screen? Doggone it. Just when I get it working. Let's see here. I do not know what's going on here. We got comments. We got event log. Damn it. All right, hang on. Let me go back here. Let me just see what happens here. We're going to do here. We're going to take this. We're going to take this one here. And I am going to we're going to go back to our Instagram Live. And we're going to drag and whoops, nope, almost screwed that up. All right, let's see if we can do this here. There we go. So I want to hang on guys. I know Instagram is like, boy, this guy is screwing up royally. And it's good. I understand. Don't just hang with me here. Command C. And then we're going to go back to Instagram here. Can we go to Instagram Live? Okay. We're going to go here. Going to pop that in there. I don't know why that's showing up. All right, guys. Instagram, I'm so sorry, guys. I get close every day, but oh my God, I got my cousins showing up. Just terrible. Terrible. All right, let's see here. Let's see what happens. So we go to Instagram Live here. We go here. We're going to go back to here. Let's see what's going on. Hang on, guys. Oh, Lord. Man, just when you think you've got it, then you find out you don't got it. All right, let's go here. I don't know why that's not working. And I apologize for today. I apologize, Instagram. I'm going to have to shut this down for the day because it's not working. But I promise you, I'm going to be back. One day I will get this running. All right. So close to Instagram. So close. Anyway. All right. Let's discard that video. Well, no, I'm going to keep that video for archival purposes on Instagram. They'll know, okay, his first video on the thingy there was pretty awful. All right, so let's go here. We're gonna go here. Let's go back to Flip Studio. Okay, there we go. I want to zoom in here. Oops. I'll zoom in here. There we go. All right, I'm liking that. All right, let's go here. Now, let me take my pen here. All right. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take as you can see here, I have that kind of tone there happening, which is good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my kind of warp liquefy tool, and I'm just going to move these here. Because I need to stretch out the grays. And, my machine is really getting taxed to within an inch of its life lately. Because I'm really been pushing it beyond what it was probably designed to be doing. In fact, let's do this. This is Black Prince, which I've been showing you guys yesterday. For right now, just turn these off to maybe free up a little RAM. We will save this just because we can. Okay, back to here. Okay, so we got this. That's looking pretty good. Go here. here. All right, so our drawing, so what we have here is a grayscale going. And I like the grayscale, and I think the camera being moved back should work a little bit better. All right, now I had drawn Superman the other day, and part of me doing that let me know that it was actually good. Let me shut some of these down here. I'm trying to shut down as many applications as I can because we don't want our machine to get bogged down. So hang on. Ah, it's one of the things that you begin to realize after a point that your machine can really truly uh, um, uh, eat up a lot of space. I mean, it is quite incredible how much it can eat up. Let's see here. Let's go through here. All right. Hang on one second, guys. We got Creative Cloud. Can't get rid of that because Creative Cloud is essential. But I will shut down Bridge. Don't think we need Adobe Bridge for the moment. All right, so we'll do that. Okay, now I don't know if this is going to necessarily work, but we will see. What do we got there? Okay, let's zoom in here. All right, let's zoom in here. Okay, let's turn the hammer off for the moment. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to turn the grayscale off. We'll get to that. And I want to go here to the form. I'll turn off the hammer. And we got the hammer right there too. So we'll turn this off. All right, now I'm going to tone this up here. I'm just going to go here to Command U. And I'm going to move the saturation down, right, to where it's like a gray. And there's a little blue there, and that blue is okay. I'm not worried about the blue so much. But what I am going to do, let's zoom out here a little bit. There we go. All right, let's see if we can do this now. Let's go here to airbrush. I'm going to take another layer here. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best. Here, let's go here. Well, actually, we'll go to the pen, and we're just going to close off. We're going to close off these areas here. Let's go right there. So you see what I'm showing, and the reason why I'm doing that because I want to be able to enter in a few of these images. We're definitely getting a little bit of lag here, so I apologize for that. But we'll be all right. We'll be able to make it work because why not? There we go. All righty. All right. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to tone this in with gray. I could do some other things here, and I could show you some things that I'm working on for, and that would actually expedite this process. But for right now, I think we'll be able to stick with this. All right, let's turn the point up there a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to turn this off here just in case that layer. There's a lot of layers in this file. All right. There we go. All right. Now just in case, let's go here. And we're going to go around here. There we go. I tend not to draw too heavy with my pens. I tend to do mostly loose rendering. But this time, I think, I've been getting used to working on that with the pen brush thingy. So that's okay. And if this keeps bogging down, I might have to reboot this right here because I'm really, really getting a little lag. All right, but we'll go here. So you see what I'm doing? I'm basically working out our forms. And of course, he's muscular. Obviously, he's muscular. In fact, the way I've seen Dave draw Hammer, he's kind of a little chunky, which is kind of cool as well. There we go. All right. Now, while I'm doing that, one thing I do want to do, let me just quickly switch back here to Facebook because I'm realizing that I got some thingies going on here. There we go. And I think we're good. And we want to share this. That's the one thing I have not done. So I'm going to go here to, I'm going to create another Facebook page here. There we go. I'm going to go here and I'm going to share this page. Let me go to the home page here. There we go. And we're going to share this. Share. And I think it automatically shares on the Afrofuturism 2.0 site, as well as the graphic history company site. I'm a partner in graphic history company with Dr. Walter Grayson and Christina Hunksbrook Lamatina, who are awesome folks there. And yeah, I share with it because any work that I do is helpful towards doing what they do. So all right, so let's go here, and also let's see. Let's go. One thing I do want to do here, if I can get this working right. All right. All righty. Let's see. There we go. Hang on. I think we're going. Ah, there it is. Ah, it's 1 day left. Okay. I thought he was there, but he did make it great. Let's go. That's good. Let's go to Safari here. Let's see what we got in Safari. All right. That's VizCom. No worries. We're going to go here. Copy. We're going to go to that guy there. We're going to go here. And we're going to copy paste. And there we go. We have Greg's thing here. So you can go to Kickstarter projects. It's not a show time. And you can see this is awesome. He made his goal. He has 41 hours to go. So that means I have 41 hours to finish this damn image. All right. So we're going to just minimize that. Okay, good. So very proud of these guys here. Years ago, I was asked to do Hammer, but I am the most uh, I have so many projects to do. It's just after a while, because there was a point where I was saying yes to everything. I mean, it was ridiculous. And by saying yes to everything, I actually screwed up several things because I was just getting back in the industry and still screwing up, by the way. But it's something that I found out that I had to take a break from. Let me save this here. But Greg asked me to work on Hammer. And I was like, sure, man, I'd love to. But then it was fairly apparent pretty quickly that I was not going to be able to work on it. So I had to take a break from it. And I love Greg. Greg's such a nice guy, brilliant writer, and able to write and to do many things as a creator. And I would hope that everyone would go to his Kickstarter and support him. And David Brain, his co-creator. He's known for his Nana the Were Spider. As you can see here, Dave Brain, the fastest cartoonist on planet Earth. Can't do that, man. Hell no. All right, but you can see that, right? So Greg is awesome. Oh, I see he has more hair there. Okay, I'll use it. Hey, man, y'all gave him a loincloth. Why couldn't I give him a loincloth? How'd that work? I'll put a loincloth in here. All right, good. Let's see. All right, so we got that. At any rate, we're going to go back here now. We're going to go back to Clip Studio Paint. There we go. I had to reboot while I was looking at that. I had to reboot this thing here so I could see what the hell I was doing. See what the hell I was doing, man. Let's see here. Okay. Hang on one second. Hang on one second. Hang on one second. One last thing we want to try. One last thing we want to try. Let's see here. We'll do one last thing here. If we don't get this right, then we're going to leave it alone. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, definitely not going to worry about it. Anyway. Okay, so we're back here. Now let's see if we can draw a little bit faster with this. Yes. All right. Now we want to just go in here and add a little. Let's close these layers off. Also, there's a lot of stuff going on here, as you can see, because I had panels here. There we go. So we're going to say here his light, the light for his body is, we're going to say the light is coming from behind him. So I could put in another layer here. We could do that. And I'll just do it like this. Well, actually, before we do that, let's go back in. Let's make sure all these layers are closed here. All these things, we want these forms closed because we're going to do a fit where we will close off elements. Again, we are not looking for perfection. We are just looking for finish. And thanks a lot, guys, for letting me know about the loincloth. What the hell? Anyway, there we go. All right. Now, tonight I will be using VizCom. However, I'm not going to use it to color, to place in quickly. What I'm going to be using VizCom today for is reference. And I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, you might say, well, what's the point of using it for reference? You have the ability to use AI just like you use images from the web. You can use images from the web. It's replaced the library, frankly, for photo reference. You used to have to collect magazines. I remember back in the day, I used to have to do that a lot. But now, what's happening is I can actually just create reference using AI. And it gives you a pretty good reference. Of course, you're going to always have to take artistic liberties. All right, so let's do this. So, okay, that's good. I like that. All right, we got the hammer here. Now, this I could put there, but I think I want to save that as a post effect. We don't need that. But we have this. That's pretty good. But before we do that, that will actually be part of this. I want to do that probably manually. But I will do this now. We're going to take our magic wand. It's like 903 here, so we got to move on a little bit here. All right, we got that. We're going to hit Command-Shift-I. Right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this airbrush here. We're going to go here, a little tone here. And I think in this layer, we're going to go back to the layer above that. We'll hit multiply, because why not? And take that brush there. All right, so you see what's happening here? Now his body is being filled in. Let's zoom in here. All right, hang on one second. Whoops, I see what's happening here. That's not updating any. All right, let's see what's going on here. There we go. There we go. All right, we should be updating now. Let's see. There. All right, we got to get that straight and squared away. Do not understand why that's not updating, but it's okay. All right, go right there. All righty. Recent. We're just going there right quick, and now I'll flip back to this. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, I had to get that adjusted. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so now we're back here again. So I am adding tones in this grayscale here. Again, this is just, there's nothing particularly unique about what I'm doing here, and that it's just regular drawing. Just regular illustration work. Okay, great. Now we got that. That's good. We want to be very careful about where we're placing stuff in here. And go here, right? Then we'll go here. Drop those in there, right? I think we can take his hair. And I might blow that hair out a little bit because the way David draws the hair is really incredibly blown out, which is great. Go here. There we go. Let's zoom in here. And then we might be able to tweak up a little bit of other stuff eventually. All right. There we go. All right. Yep, I am happy to be here, not dead, and 6 feet under, becoming worm food. We all have that coming to us, but I'm glad to be able to finally get around to doing this image here. Glad to be alive and do it. Still got to drink my water, and I may have to take a sip before we go on. Water hydration for people with hypertension, high blood pressure is good. I did not do my walk today. I find that I do take days off. Like I did 4 miles yesterday, but today was a little bit slower, and that's okay. I can live with that. All right, so we got something there. That's pretty good. Now, I'm going to take this. Oh, that's a little bit light there. So I'm going to move this and this above that layer. Okay, I like that. However, I need to do a fill, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. I'm going to fill this with white, right? I'm going to create a new layer. There we go. So now you can see the character in there. All right. So I'm going to Command D. Let me do one thing here because I see a little line work right at the bottom. You can't see it. It's very light. But I need to just go in and just tweak that a little bit. Just to bring that stuff in there. We don't want anything flopping around. Okay. This is going to be a crazy, crazy image here, but that's all right. The creators are crazy, and so am I. So that's all right. All right. So we got something pretty good there. I want to turn this down a little bit just so much so it will read. All right. So we have this. I'm going to save this image. Now we're going to output this image. I'm going to go export JPEG. So what I'm about to demonstrate here, we're going to call it prompt. All right. Go to save. We will save it as a JPEG, which is fine. Right. So that image is now saved. Again, there are different ways you can use AI. You can use AI as actually part of the illustration process where you're literally using AI embedded into the illustration, or you can use it as reference, like photo reference. You know, okay, this is what I'm referring to. Now, a number of people use that technique, so there's nothing unique about that as well. But I have not shown you guys how I utilize that. Let's go back to Safari here. Again, there's Greg's work. And we're going to go here. That's pretty big there. Let me just move this in. I have so many screens in this studio. It is ridiculous. And I have to apologize again, Instagram. I know it's weird. Let's go here to chat. I still don't see anything with chat. That's it. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea why chat is not working. But we're going to not worry about it for now. All right, anyway. We could probably go here. All right, let's go back here. All right, we're going to go to here. We're going to just go back to our workspace. I was just had a very, very brief, I mean, ridiculously brief, um, ridiculously brief exchange with Jordan Taylor, the CEO or co-CEO, I don't know which one he is, of VizCon. I'm so happy just to have him acknowledge that I had reached out. So that was great. So yeah, because this, you want to, when you put all this work into this stuff, people want to know you're using it, but you also want the people who put all the work into creating the software to know that you're using it. So we're going to upload here. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to go to Recents. Let's see what we can find. Here we go. No. Okay, let's go. No worries. We're going to go here, Document. We're going to type in hammer. Hammer time. What's that? No. All right, let's close that. All right, no worries. We're going to close this up here. Cancel. We're going to move this here. Just hang on 1 second, guys. We're going to go to hammer. Got to do a search because my eyes are bad. My eyes are really, really bad. Oh, we can't find it. Where did that thing go? Where did it get saved? Well, it got saved in the hammer folder, obviously. Let's upload an image here again. We'll click here. And we're going to do a search for the word hammer. Hammer variant. What is that? Oh, is that it? JPEG. I think that's it. Let's go upload. There it is. All right, so we got it in there. Now, watch this. See, muscular man leaping with clenched fist. I'm going to say muscular man standing with clenched fists, wild curly hair. Good job, David. Intense expression, dynamic pose, swirling, clenched fist, swirling, clenched fist. There we go. Yeah, we'll just leave that out. Wild curly hair, intense expression, dynamic pose, swirling abstract background. We'll leave that. Grayscale color screen. We want to get rid of that. We will put, well, we will go light portal behind the man, with circular waves. Okay, now we need to go up here again because, you know, all this AI stuff can be kind of weird when it comes to ethnicity. So we're going to go here. We're going to say African - American man. Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh, wait. We're going to say light portal. We want to, let's go backlit from the right, with bounce light. And then we're going to go cinematic and realistic. All right, now we're going to generate our reference. Again, here what I'm doing is I'm not trying to actually put the images. I'm going to use it for reference, just for reference. All right, whoa, look at that. Hey, put some pants on this guy. That's not. Ha! Look at that. Oh, no. But great color. Look at that. All right, we're going to say muscular nude African American man. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking it. Oh, doggone it. Nude is an offensive word. Let's go to naked. My goodness. Now it has muscular unclothed African American man. Let's try that. Okay, I think we're getting it. Yes. Okay, this is good. Look at that. You can already see just through the rendering here. All right, I'm liking that quite a bit. That's pretty good. Now, let's see which one we want to use for reference. What we do want is we want just the idea. Now, you can do this already. You can get this from Muscle magazines, but this is good because it gives us an indication. That's pretty good, but I want a little bit darker here. That's great. So we're going to add that. Then we're going to go here. I like his face on that, actually. That's kind of face. But let's change one more thing. We're going to say uh, harsh backlit. Harsh. We're going to say bright, harsh backlight. Yes, harsh back. Oh, my poor eyes. From the right, I'm going to eliminate bounce light on this one. And get rid of that. I'm going to save this. I'm going to add this one here. That's already added. I'm going to add, that's added. That one, not so much. And there we go. All right, we're going to go here. Now we're going to hit generate again. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is interesting. Wow, I'm liking that. I'm really, really liking that. Ah, look at that. Isn't that incredible? But that's good, but that's a little bit too much, but we'll still add it anyway. Harsh. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now watch this, guys. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to zoom into this, right? So now I'm going to click this, and what I'm going to start doing is adding harsher lights myself, and just to see what the software can do in terms of the render. Now, I don't even know if a VizCom was designed to look like, to be used this way. I don't know if it was. But what are you gonna do? That's part of the thing. These programmers create this software and they think that it's gonna be one way and it turns out being something else. So what are you gonna do, guys? All right. All right, so we're gonna go here and I'm gonna take a brush here. I'm gonna go to white here. All right, see? And I can make this point by hitting the left bracket, same hotkeys as in Photoshop. So we're going to go here, and I'm just going to get a little bit of the out part there. There we go. See what I'm doing? And I have his ears. I don't know why I have his ears showing in the actual original illustration. But again, here, what I'm doing is I'm telling the software to take into consideration edge light, right? Right. So now I can do this. Boy, imagine what will happen when they get smudge into this thing. That's going to be pretty crazy, right? So now I'm going to take this point down. Now I'm going to add this kind of stuff in there. See? We want that harsh light. We need that harsh light, man. Hi-yow. There we go. Now we could also do a little bit of this. Just a little bit. Oh, no, I don't like that. That's horrible. That's good, though. There. Here. All right, now I'm going to render this one more time, and then we're going to see if we can use this for reference. So we go here, just a little bit there, and then here. That's the thing that's incredible about that. It's using my line artwork. It's taking some liberties, the more abstract, but the more exact your illustration is, the more it can pull from what it is you're doing. So that's one of the great things about generative AI. Also, even though I'm sure she's not looking tonight, huge shout out to Latrice Gaskins, who I think is a pioneer of the form. Without her, I would not be doing this. And I'm stating this so she will know, for the record, I know who the boss is and who is absolutely fantastic at this stuff, and will be seen as a pioneer in the coming decades. Without her, generative AI for illustration, I don't think would be the same. I'm also proud of the fact that she's a practicing Afrofuturist, which is pretty damn cool. But I just wanted to state that for the record. I would go here, a little bit of that, a little bit here. Now I'm going to fog out that back leg there just a little bit so we can have it. All right, now So if I zoom out here, you can see what's happening, right? That's not bad. Pretty abstract, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Let me make that a little bit thicker so we can get some. There we go. Here. Yep. Yep. All right. Here. Just a little bit. There. Here. Boom. Bam. 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 There we go. Pow. 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 All right. Now we're going to put just a little bit here. Just a little bit there. Just a little bit there. And here. All right. Now let's go to generate. So it's now using that image to catapult. It's piggybacking on what I've illustrated here. And we're going to see what it does. If it doesn't do anything, that's okay. If it just utilizes what's there, that's okay. But what I will do at the very least, oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? You see what this can do? This can add, how else to say it? I get it. I know I did this a little bit yesterday, but what the hell? I think it's probably best that I do it. I get it. I get it. I get that there are people who prefer that you do this type of thing completely manual without anything else. I get it. I totally get it. But there is no denying the power of this to enhance your own personal illustrations. You know, taking work and putting it, letting the software start from scratch and it does everything. All you're doing is just typing. I don't want to do that. I do some prompting when I'm trying to enhance what I've drawn, right? But then it's a constant back and forth. And there will come a point very soon where I'm not doing this, where I'm not using this. But anyway, we're going to add this to it. That's dope. Oh, we're going to add that one to it as well. So for those artists out there who need reference, who will feel better if, look at that. Isn't that incredible? These are strokes I added that's adding it to the form. And I think that's good enough. It's giving me, that's kind of cool there. We're going to add that as well. All right. I don't think we need to do anything else with this. And we're going to call this, I'm going to save this. We're going to call this hammer prompt. It's 9:22. We're going to go for a little bit, because I want to finish this illustration. I do want it to be quick, fast, but in order to make it quick, fast, I felt like it would probably be best if I did a little bit more reference. The background, I don't mind so much because I need that to be, how should I say? I need the background to be abstract, right? Because it really is focusing in on the character, the form of the character. Okay, so we're good there. We got hammer prompt. We're going to go to export PSD, right? Okay. Now we're going to go back to Clip Studio Paint. I could go to Photoshop, but let's go back to Clip Studio Paint. And I'm going to go to Photoshop eventually, so relax, freaking relax. But what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to open, oh, these are my old hammer files. Let's go here. Let's go to, I'm going to go here to, where is it? Doggone it. Ah, yes, downloads. Hey, I'm getting older. There it is, hammer prompt. Like hammer time, hammer prompt. Right click over this, open with Clip Studio Paint, which I have not upgraded to the latest version yet. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to take this here. I'm going to move that there, and I'm going to move this out so that we can actually have double images. Let's see if we can see that. Can we see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. All right, that's all right. That's okay. So we'll move it back. All right, I get it. You guys sometimes, we got to reach out. All right, so we're going to pop back and forth between these two. Okay, good. So we got that. I'll move this here. All right, now I'm going to turn this off. And again, I'm going to move back and forth with this. Let me check my comments here. I haven't checked my comments in a while. Let's go back to, I don't know if anyone's commenting. Let's see here. Got that. I'm going to move this back where it was. There we go. Okay, good. And then we're going to go back to Safari again. I don't use Google much. I used to use it quite a bit, but I don't really use it so much anymore. All right, here we go. Now let's see here. Do we have any comments going? And I'm sorry about this. Let's see here. We do not. We have no highlights to show. Let's see here. Okay. We don't see anything right now, but that's okay. We're going to go back to Dieselfunk. We're going to leave this page. Okay, good. All right. Oh, there are 2 people. Shares. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. I'm liking it. All right, so we're going to leave that there. And then we'll go to YouTube here. And we don't want to end this stream on that. Let's see here. Live chat. I'm going to just say, again, for Dieselfunk Dispatch, hey, guys, it's working fine. Guys, can we edit that? Oh, no, we can't move that. All right, we're going to go here again. I do not know why that does not work. Pop out. Okay, I do not know why it doesn't work here that we can't see it, but I do know it's active. So that's good. All right, but I'm going to take this here and I'm going to go to my thingy here. We're going to go to YouTube. And I'm going to go to my page here. And it's probably going to double up on the audio here, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Switch account and go here. All right. Let's see what happens. And then we're going to go to my channel, view your channel. All right, there we go. We got something live going here. There we go. All right, let me hit the audio here. We don't want that to bog down things. All right. Managing moderators can support a channel even more, blah, 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 blah. We ain't going to worry about it. But chat in YouTube is now working. Hey, I'm going to type my first chat in Dieselfunk. Hey, folks. I is here. All right, good. So we can go back to this now. That's great. That's nice to know. All right. So we're going to go here back to this guy. All right. Now, let me pop this here. And we can, again, pop back and forth. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a interesting kind of brush. I'm going to go with airbrush, but I'm going to go with a running color spray. And that running color spray is going to add texture. I could do this with the burn brush, but I think I want to do it here. Well, we'll go with soft. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. We're just going to do the squiggly. Squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. So, you know what? I need my reference. I wanted you guys to see that, but I need my reference. I need my reference. It does not help if I'm not using my reference. But what I will do is I will pop back and forth from time to time to show you how I'm utilizing the reference. Right? So we're going to go here. I mean, it's really quite incredible what it's able to do. See that? All right, let's move in here to the shoulder work. See that? Let's take that. That's soft. Okay. Again, I don't want to. I'm a little bit nervous about things bogging down for me here. And that is my multiply. There we go. Make that a little bit darker. I was wondering why that was doing this here. All right, we're going to take this here just a little bit. Now, why am I adding these kind of imperfections like blemishes? I'm adding the blemishes because what it does is it adds what I call implied detail, right? A lot of people do this with things like water. Right? In this case here, I'm able to do this with just like very abstract brush strokes, right? And some of these things, you can kind of like get away with. Some you can't. That's okay. Oh man, I'm loving that. Loving that. There we go. Look at that. Look at that shoulder there. That shoulder there is looking pretty good. All right. So again, reference. That's what this is great for. Go here. And I'm going to have to take my smudge tool here, of course. And now, right off in this section here, you'll see me painting. And the thing that's interesting about this section here is that I always have issues trying to get roundness in my shapes. But this is great to be able to refer to. Look at that arm. And I can put things like veins and stuff right there. Because let's be serious. Anatomy sometimes is comic book anatomy, and that's what I do. I can do comic book anatomy. I never really work to make things be exact. Uh, but again, with this particular tool here, it just makes so much of this stuff. It's like having a customized photo reference utility. And it's very, very good. Then go here, the muscles there. I'll just take a little bit there. We'll go here. Now we're going to get his 8-pack because he has an 8-pack. He's not the only one that works out, Greg. This guy works out too. So let's get with it. I'll decide whether or not I'm going to put the loincloth on. All right. I imagine you guys put the loincloth on there because you want it to be able to be safe for sensitive ears. There we go. See what's happening? See what's happening? Now I'm going to go through here. I'll add a few darker elements, and eventually I'm going to go through this with a smudge brush and dodge and burn. Let's go back here if I can. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see where I'm. Oh, what happened there? Oh, okay, let's move this down. All right, now because of this, because it's giving me, oh, you can see both. There you go. All right, let's go. Let's click back here. Can we see it? All right, I think you guys can see it. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. It looks like you guys might be able to see both. Let me just double click one more time. Again, learning. I was using OBS for a period. There we go. So now my reference is there again. All right. I was using OBS to begin with, but what can I tell you guys? OBS is really complex. OBS is very powerful. Don't get me wrong. But in this particular case here, I needed a easy solution that was going to allow me to get up and streaming relatively fast. Right? Now, it's interesting. What I'm doing here is in certain ways, I know some artists use Poser. Poser's great in that it gives you the ability to reference back and forth forms. And that's a very, very powerful thing to be able to do. Let's go right there. A little bit of shadow here. All right, look at that. Look at that form there. That's turning out quite nicely. Now, I'm going to darken the right here, the right side of his body, because I don't want that harsh light coming from the front. But we're going to see how it goes. Right now, we'll stick with what we got. There we go. See? All right, let's go here. A little bit of this. Here. All righty. All right, now let's go back here. Reference again. Let's look at these shoulders. I think there should be a highlight right off of here, but I can add that a little bit later. Again, the imperfections are what we're looking for in this. The imperfections is what adds a humanity to this work. Again, sometimes I will just straight drag and drop this stuff into it because then it's acting like an advanced color flatter. So as long as it's adding context to my drawings, I'm good, right? But in this particular case, I'm not doing that. I'm painting straight, but I'm using the work as a reference. And that makes an incredible difference. Let's check out the knee here. Okay, that knee's pretty good. I'll probably use a kind of a bounce light eventually. We don't want to spend too much time on this. Again, we want this to come to an end fairly quickly. Now, look at that bottom part here around the inner legs, right down off in there. Let's zoom in here. See what's happening? We want to make sure that we kind of darken that up. There we go. There we go. I've used technology for a long time in my work, and I find that I found it at one point it was very alarming to use, but I've used it so long now, it's quite liberating. It allows me to do the type of work that I want to do. It allows me to achieve a certain fidelity in my work that can be achieved analog, but it takes dramatically longer. And so I made that deal many, many years ago when I started utilizing 3D in my work and painting and digital illustration. You know, because I'm not using Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint like to do just regular flatting of ink line work. You know what I mean? I use it more as a painting device than anything else. That is the truth. While I'm doing that, I would say that we'll be attending the San Diego Comic Con. I thought I was going to be going to the Eisner Award ceremony, but it looks like the ceremony for the Dwayne McDuffie Award happens on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to attending it. Again, Graphic History of Hip Hop is nominated for award. You know, there's some awesome books it's going up against. So if we win, great. If we don't win, it's fine too. But just enormously thankful to that organization for picking us. You know, you send your work in, and you know, I've done that numerous times for the Eisners, but my books have never been acknowledged that way, and that's fine. You know, like I said, you know, it is a industry, and you have to, you know, you got to pay your dues and all that type of stuff. Now let's check this arm out here right quick. So we go here to the arm here. I didn't put as much detail in there, but that's okay. I think we can, because we are taking liberties with things here. We'll do that. There we go. That. Pop this here again. See, all that is on there. Now, here's where we go with the arm here. That's where it's going to be kind of interesting. That's where it's going to be kind of interesting, man. Again, the abstraction is totally fine. The abstraction is totally fine. The abstraction, see, now look at that. Look at that compared to where this was before, right? It's quite interesting to see how we move along. Let me check my comment section here. There we go. Alrighty. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, let me turn this down here. Let me mute this.
I'm liking it.
I need to mute that. There we go. It's muted. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm gonna say, hey, folks. All right, so we are chatting through the Dieselfunk chat. Eventually, I will get all this stuff running in Mail Studio, but for right now, you know, we just gotta. Thank you, Darius Crosby. Cello, cello. Let's see here. We're gonna go to there, and we're gonna go back to Tim Fielder, and we're gonna see if there's any chatting going on there. Chat. Chat. Okay, that's just me. I see Kanitra Brooks. This is my, well, not my homegirl, but my wife's homegirl. Looking gorgeous with her hair. She got that London glow on her. She needs to stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble, girl. All right, here we go here. All right, let's go back here. Check this out. Move this over and out of the way so I can see what in the world I'm doing. All right, we are back here. It's 9:40. I will try my best not to go on too long. But again, now let me say one thing. You guys, do you see? I've really not used the AI tools that much. Once I was done, I was done. Even when I'm using it to put into the work itself, it's not a lot of work in there because I'm not using AI the way most people would use it. I'm not using this work to uh, uh, totally generate images from it. What I'm using it for is to expedite things that would take an absolute century. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to expedite things so I can get my work done faster. That is what I'm trying to do. Got it? All right. Take this here. Now, here I'm happy with the body pretty much. I mean, I'm going to have to go in and smooth things out. But I don't want to overly smooth because the kind of imperfections in the shading is what will add the sort of organic biological effect. So we're gonna go here. Let's zoom in here to this guy's face. Now his face is in a different position, but what we can do is transfer the light scheme on his face to our drawing's face. Now let me repeat that again. We're literally going to transfer the light scheme on this character's face to this character's face. So let's zoom in here. But you'll notice it's a little bit off here because his face is turned a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. We're good. We're good. So we see what we got here, but I'm looking at all these kind of undulations in his face. I don't know if it's the correct pronunciation of the word, but what the hell, right? So we're going to go here. See what I'm saying? I can just add these little things. These are little things that these drawings are designed specifically to add imperfection in the face, right? And I'm using what I have as reference, what I've created as reference. It's effectively creating virtual reference. There are many different ways to use this stuff, right? Many different ways to use it, many different ways to showcase. Let's just take that. What does that top lip like? Okay, good, 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 good. I like that top lip. Not too much. Let's go here. Yep. Okay, let's go here in the cheek area here. See it right there? We're going to go here. And for some reason, Dave draws his character's eyes with this kind of interesting sort of look and feeling. Let's go here. There we go. David Brame is a fantastic artist. He's known primarily for doing the parable books. I mean, he's done a bunch of other books and stuff, but he's really now been really eating it alive with the parable books, along with John Jennings for Megascope division and imprint of Abrams, written by Damian Duffy. And I love to see what that guy does. He's the mountain man. He is that mountain man. All right, we're going to go here. All right, let's check that chin out. All right, that chin has a little bit darker area there. There we go. See? So all I'm doing, again, is just adding and transferring light skin. Now, I'm going to take liberties with this for sure. I don't need it to be an exact. I'm not trying to slavishly copy my reference. But what I am trying to do is take the elements of the reference that I like. That's the objective. Right? Go here. Tweak this. All right. Now, I'm just going to do a little bit of darkness here in the hair. Because why not? Okay. All right, I like that. Now, I'm going to marry these two guys here. I'm going to marry them, merge selected layers. This is good. Now, before I do that, I want to try to now do the background. I want to do the background because I think it's important that I do the background. And the background is a little bit abstracted, and that's okay. Whoops. I want to go here. I'm going to turn these two off. Now, he's there a little bit, and that's okay. I don't mind that so much. But I'm going to duplicate this image here. There we go. I think that dark element is kind of interesting, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to darken this up like this. We're going to take the luminosity down. There we go. See? Fantastic. Now, here, I'm going to go to blend. Now, I could use the blend tool or a blur tool, but I think what I want to go with, I don't know if this is going to work. This is a Japanese blend tools here. Yeah, let's see what happens if we use these Japanese blend tools. Yeah, look at that. That's like water. That's interesting. That's like a water effect. I kind of like that. And even though there was an outline, because when I toned it, I just toned it all on the same layer. It adds a kind of a subtle shadow effect to what we're doing here, right? Again, this tool is a tool. It is a tool. It is something that you can use to expedite and augment your already existing illustration process. Is it fair that the companies and the corporations are doing what they're doing? Of course not. What are we to do in the meantime? Are we to sit back and do nothing? Sure, there are numerous legal teams. I'm seeing the work that Carla Ortiz and her group is doing, and they're to be admired for that. But in the meantime, since we know the tech is not going away, I'm going to continue to use this technology to get good at it, because I know what happens when I don't use the technology, when I get fearful and not use it. Again, it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. But for me, having used 3D and 2D for many, many years, it is fine. All right. Now, I like that. Now we're going to go with blend. And let's see what happens here when we go with blend. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. Right? Go here. And what it's doing is just smoothing that out a little bit. There we go. There we go. Man, let's move these guys here. I'm going to put a little light there. I'm even kind of liking these kind of strokes here. We'll do that. Yep. Yep. There we go. But I should probably save this. What do you think? Maybe just for kicks? Let's make sure I save that. Okay, that is saved. Alrighty. I'm liking that. Okay, good. I see Marcus Allison has just liked my post. Thank you, Marcus. Old friend from way back in the day. Marcus Allison is a fantastic lawyer. At one point, a good friend, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life in New York City. Um, I met him when I was sleeping on our mutual friend Luther Smith's floor at NYU. That was back in the day when I had hair and was probably 100 pounds lighter than I am now. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, so we've got that. I wonder if what would happen. No, we're going to go to. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to create a new layer, and this time what I'm going to create is I'm going to create a bright. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see. We should grab white. Oh, I'm sorry, I grabbed blend here. Let's go with a little airbrush work here. There we go. All right. Yeah. Now here we go. We're gonna just to stroke off in there a little bit more. There we go. All right, so this is okay, and we'll add more effects to that. But for right now, let's just go back here to blend, and let's try this. Again, we're using a little bit of these Japanese blend tools, which are fascinating. They add a kind of a charcoaly effect, which is good. Can be good at least. There we go. I'm liking that. And I'll get to more abstraction as we go along here. There we go. Go here. There we go. Play a little catch up there. And I'll go right there on the top here. All right, now. So we got that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to go back to blend, which should work a little bit. There we go. Blend effect. We got to take it easy because we want to keep some of our rough strokes in there. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. It's 9:52, so we don't want to go on much longer. I just wanted to get my background in there and then go to the character. Now, this is where, again, you all see what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of blending and rendering here. And rendering is cool, but in this case here, I'm not using AI to render it. I'm actually hand rendering, and that's okay. But the use having it as reference saves a lot of trouble. Boy, does it. All right, let's do this here. We want to go to this. We're going to go to blur. I'm going to go to radial blur. Let's turn that down a little bit there. Yeah, that's interesting. Yep, I like that. See how that blended that up a little bit? That's kind of cool. That looks abstract. All right, now let's go to our character. Now I'm going to duplicate. And you can see here we actually have light already in there. And that's pretty good. And I could start from that, but I think I'm going to use my reference a little bit more strongly. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to select that layer. So that white layer here is the entire, how should I say, it's the entire form of that. So I can paint inside the form here. And again, I could paint the highlights now, but I just want to go through very quickly. Hey, a like from Walter Grayson. Thank you, Walter. The endowed chair at the McAllister College, Grayson. Let's see here. We're gonna go here. Let's see. We're gonna go here. Now we're gonna try. Even I'm gonna duplicate this layer just in case. You know. By the way, when you are drawing your stuff, save a layer. Just grab a layer and put it to the side. You know, make a duplicate of it because if you mess up, you want the ability to be able to go back. Right? That would be cool. All right, so go here. All right, now let's very quickly move through this. So you see these things here. Again, this is biological matter, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be close enough. So let's zoom in here. We're going to try to get through this very, very quickly. All right. We're taking our blend tool here. Okay, let's save that. Hold on one second here. I think I need to. For now, I'm going to close Photoshop. Normally, I would be using Photoshop, but I don't want to save it for right now because I need to free up some RAM on my unit. And my unit, let me tell you, I'm one of those people. My machine is completely tricked out. Let me tell you, it is completely tricked out, and I don't have a problem saying that, because it's I put time and effort into this and doing it right. So we're not going to save that, and we're not going to save this one. Okay, now we're going to close Photoshop 2025. The Adobe folks, I love you so much. Adobe is great. All right, now going back here. All right, and if I have to reboot Clip Studio Paint again, I will. But right now, I think we're good. Yes. Let's go over lightly with this. See, yes. Now, what? Let's look at this chest area here. This is what I'm talking about. So you've got strokes there, right? And by themselves, those strokes look like line work. But when you smudge them, see the effect they begin to take on? They look like blemishes in the skin, right? Now, if we want to, we could even take fingertip. And fingertip is even crazier, right? Fingertip goes through this and it adds even more insane touches. See what's happening? So that's the thing that this can do. Now let's zoom out. See what happened there? See what happened? Let's check here. Let's check our reference again. Let's go to the chest area here. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. All right. I think we're good here. Now let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Go here. Let's make this point a little bit bigger. There we go. See? There we go. Aha. So it's adding imperfection through brush and stroke imperfection. See what's happening with that chest area there? Pretty cool. And there's so many people that blow me out of the water with this. But these are techniques that I have devised over the years. A stroke of dark pixels becomes a shadow of dark pixels. It's quite interesting. Is it a cheat? Hell yes, a cheat. Let's go here. Let's check off in this area here. Yeah, I don't know which muscle that is, but that's in this area there. So we're now going to go here. Saying what we're doing is getting rid of our obvious strokes because we want this image here to really give us that kind of painted, uh, I call it half-finished James Bomber effect. Yeah, I ain't going in like James Bomber, man. I love James Bomber. I love Jim Steranko. I love them as artists, particularly James Bomber. Jim Steranko, I love his work. We won't go into anything else other than that, but he is a brilliant, brilliant artist and has a tremendous amount of influence over me. Okay. Again, it's all about adding the cinematic effect. Trying your best to add the cinematic effect. See how when I zoom in on it here, it's giving me that feeling uh that how should I call it? That thing, that vibe, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for a vibe. That's all we're looking for. Vibes and more vibes. Alrighty. There we go. So as you can see here, as I'm blending those lines, it's looking less like a line drawing and more like it's the rendering is adding to the organic nature of the illustration itself. However, uh, if you, particularly when you're working with organic forms, I mean, it can go both ways. You know, you have to be careful with it. But I find that when you're dealing with organic forms, you can take many more liberties unless you're doing portraiture, which you can take some liberties. But you know, I've done enough portraits over the years to know that you got to be real careful with that because you know some people don't take kindly, you know, to that. I was speaking with a bit ago about Andrew Leroy Davis, who's one of the like seminal hip hop portrait artists, just the brilliant portrait artists in general. We were talking about how people get upset when you draw them. They're like, I don't look like that, but they just do. All of the imperfections, all of the blemishes. You know, sadly, we are artists, so we see it. It's kind of hard not to like, wow, you have a pimple on your nose, you know, and you want to paint it. You know, it's just what happens. So I'm going through this here right now, and I'm just quickly going through getting rid of that hard edge effect, but leaving the impressions of it. See that line there? Let's show you here. See that? Watch this. See? So you still have the line, but there's impression of something else. And that's when, and all you got to do is if you can just do that. Now that's weird, but don't worry about it. Watch this. I'm going to go here to this white layer, and I'm going to erase right off in there. See? Amazing what happens when you take the time. So to see that rendering there, this is good. So now we'll go back to this, and we want to get through this again. It's 10:02. I want to try my best to shut down. I've been trying not to go on too late. And, you know, perhaps you might find this relaxing. I don't know. Some people might. Some people might not. My dreams. I would love to be an ambassador while I'm doing my work here. You know, I already consider myself an ambassador of Afrofuturism, but I would love to be an ambassador for Adobe and for VizCon, I think, and for Clip Studio Paint. I think the work I do adds context to what they do, and I love it. All right, got to pop here. There we go. We'll go through here with a little bit darker lines. It's okay. And see here. Okay, there we go. I like it. So these are good here. Even with the imperfections on the edges, that's okay. All right, now let's go through here. Now I'm going to try my best in 5 minutes to get through the rest of his body. All right, go through this. I'm going to make my point bigger. I'm going to go with a lighter touch. And let's just see, because, you know, that's what we do. All right. Let me save this. There we go. So I love painting in the computer, but I don't love it that much. This stuff can get tedious, man. And try to do an entire graphic novel like this. I remember once having an exchange with one of my favorite comic book artists, is Christopher Moeller. A lot of people, know him for his Star Wars work, but I know him primarily for I follow him and collect his books, primarily the Iron Empire's books. Trevor Faith and all that stuff. I love that stuff. And I was once asking him how long it took him to do a book, and he said it takes 4 years to do one of these things, which is absolutely bonkers. You have to have dedication because he's using traditional colors, and I'm like, there's no way I would want to paint an entire graphic novel in oil. I mean, the last one I did like that was back in the '90s, and that was Dr. Dre. And I damn near killed myself on that book, and it never even came out. So, I mean, yeah, I personally would never do that, but I admire anyone who has the cojones, if you will, to do it. But, I don't go around thinking, man, I wish I could do that. Like, nah, leave that to the pros. We'll leave that to the pros, guys. We'll let you guys handle that. Yep. All right, there we go. Let me do just a little bit of this, and that's okay with this hard line here. But then I want to go through this with a smoothing tool. There we go. All right. Now that's pretty good here. Let's go right here. See? Oh, I'm liking it. Then I'm going to come through with a blur tool. Very quick blur tool, which will add for us some effects. Just right now, what I'm doing is taking my line strokes here, and it's adding definition, implied definition, not actual true definition. We'll leave that to the Michael Whalens out there, who was apparently won for a Grandmaster Award, which is great. That guy's been around for years. I collect his books. I'm a Facebook friend with him. I would love to have my book signed, Mr. Whalen. But you probably know what I am. But heavy, heavy influence on me. George Lucas will be at the uh, Comic Con, and I'm hoping to be able to go through and hear him talk about the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. Now, I always wondered, I never really sold my originals. I always, because I recognized the work was for reproduction, but I never sold my artwork. I never sold my artwork. I always made sure I held on to my artwork. And the result of doing that, it has resulted in me having most of my work for archival purposes, which has been great. All right, I can hear it. My wife is now listening to her Love Island. Oh, Lord help us. But hey, apparently the show's very popular. So what can I say? All right, there we go. There we go. All right, that arm is interesting, but it's pretty good. Once we hit it with shadow, it won't be so harsh. We'll go here in this leg area. There we go. See what's happening, how I'm doing this? Hit that with a little blur. It'll totally take it to the next level. There we go. Knee. There we go. See what's happening, guys? See how quickly we're moving through this? But it's giving us such a kind of abstraction that is tricking the eye. This is the beauty of a kind of digital illustration, that it can do that kind of thing. There we go. Again, I encourage you guys to go contribute to the Hammer Kickstarter by Greg Anderson USA and David Brain. They've been doing this web comic for some time now, and a huge, huge admirer of Greg and Dave's work. Really, their work ethic as well, because they show me how inefficient I am with my own time. But I'm a little bit older now, so I cut myself a little bit slack. All right, now let's go here a little bit, just here, just on the top. There we go. There we go. All right, I like it. So I would call this image here, in terms of its base tones, in place. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to do something that's very interesting. I'm going to go back here to my reference, and I'm going to start laying in elements. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sharp pen. I'm going to go to white, and I'm going to start adding those shapes in there. See, so what I'm doing literally is transferring the light shape here to this drawing. Okay, so we got that. We're there. And it doesn't have to be exact, just needs to be close enough. See? Go here on the side. Yep, there we go. We got a little bit of overlap on the top there. See? Do that. Okay. Thank you, Walter, for liking my post. Appreciate it. My thing. I'm going to go to Dieselfunk here to the Facebook page to see if there's any chatting going on. If there's not, it's all good. We came so very, very close with getting Instagram running today, but don't worry. Eventually, I'm going to get Instagram running. I promise you. All right, let's go back to YouTube here and just check and see what's going on here with any chats. Any chats, man? No chats right now. It's okay. We're all good there. And yeah. Oh, let's go. Let's refresh that. Yep. Whoa. I think we're good. Oh, yeah, it's still on. Okay, good. We're still good. All right, now let's go back here and get a little refresh here. Okay, good. Now, here we go. Here, I'm going to go off in here. See how I'm doing this? Again, we're not looking for perfection. I'm not trying to do super duper realistic uh, anatomy. I'm just trying to get close enough. Again, I'm transferring the light here to this character shape. And we're using AI for what it really truly is good at, which is really amazing reference. All right, so you see how that's now just that. I mean, this is kind of a Richard Corbin effect. That harsh light makes things really theatrical. I was fortunate enough to get some Richard Corbin portfolio work here. One day I intend to buy his art books, which go for a ridiculous sum of money. But I had the pleasure of working with Richard Corbin well before he passed away. And it's just his words, very brief. I talked with him twice over the internet back in the early days of the internet. We talked about the late '90s, early 2000s, and he told me, I said, "Man, I feel like I was born a little bit too late. I would have loved to have worked for Heavy Metal Magazine. Would have loved to have done it. And I know Humanoids is out there doing it, and I considered pitching to it, but I never know how to get in contact with anyone. I don't know. Maybe if they're out at San Diego, maybe I'll try there. But yeah. All right, so we got that. All right, that's pretty good. All right, let's go here. Let's check this side again. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's go underneath the leg there. You see what I'm saying? This stuff here doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to have heart. Is my work perfect? Hell no. Does it have heart? Heart of an imperfect human. How about that? There we go. Go here. All right, not bad. I'll put one line or so. All right, now we need to go on this back leg here. Okay, good. Work that there. See how that light, you add that light to it, really, really takes things to another level. All right, a little bit here, there. There we go. There we go. Yep. All right, now I want to get some on the other arm there. Right here. And just a little bit right there. Just a little bit. Just to show there's a shoulder here. Then we're going to go here. I mean, it's quite incredible. I'm going to go here. There we go. Yep, there we go. There we go. We'll do another one here. And another one here. And then just a little bit there. Now, we got that. That's not terrible. All right, now we want to go just a little bit here, just underneath the arm. Not too much, but enough. All right, now here's where it gets interesting. We want to go on the face. Then we got to go in and blend it. It looks like there's a little bit of stuff going on here, but we're going to do it like this. Take this, right? Then we're going to put a little bit on his beard. He's got a crazy beard. And I'll make the hair even more extreme as I go into it a little bit more. There we go. Yep. All right, let's go in that neck area. All right, we can see what's happening there. You know, that I know artists who are using AI. They're not artists actually. They're not visual. They don't illustrate at all. But it's really kind of opened up the gates for them in terms of being able to do this type of work. But that's when I saw that I knew in my heart, okay, this is something that can absolutely change the game for analog artists. You know, and that was something for me that I felt like, okay, this is important. All right, let's check out here the side of the face. Okay, this is good. A little bit there, not too much. I don't want to go crazy with it. There we go. All right, now let's still check that nose. There's pretty okay. That's good. Now here's where it gets a little weird because there's not much light hitting his head here. But I will go here. There we go. And go here. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. All right. There we go. And I'll put some light bloom on this. I kind of use the same effect sometimes on some of my stuff. I can repeat effects, which are okay. But hey, a good pose is a good pose, isn't it? And go here, right there. Now let me bump this point down here so I get that hair a little bit more. Okay. Let's put a little bit of just highlights on here. Okay, just a little bit. There we go. All right, now, not bad. Not bad. So that's good. I'm liking that, but we need to go here. And we have highlights in the muscles, but that's in the offshoot. That's in the back, not the backlight, but the kind of secondary, tertiary light. But in order to do that, I want to create a new layer here. But this time, I'm not going to go with white. I'm going to go with like a gray, right off in there. Just going to push a little bit here, here. And I'm just going to go here and just get a little bit of that stuff there happening. So to give us some highlights without being harsh. There we go. There. Top. There we go. See? And because I blocked his genitalia, gentlemen, I will leave him with sans loincloth. How about that? All right, there. Go on the side there. Just a little bit there. There we go. Now, right here, here, and that's what that right there should have been, but it's okay. You can put it there now. All right. All right, this is going to be pretty monochromatic, and I'm okay with that. All right, now we got to go into the face here, and then you guys will see what I'm going to do here. All right, that's like lip. All right, let's put the teeth here. There we go. Teeth here. There we go. want it to go just a little bit edge for the lip. Now let's go back here. Let's zoom into his face here. Here's where we got to get. We want to transfer the light scheme here onto his face there. So we know on the side here we got a nose thing. Let's zoom into this. We got a nose thing happening here, right? On the side. Go back again. All right, we got this here happening. All right, here we have the nose has a glint right there. Yep. All right, now we want to be able to take just a bit of this, not too much, not too much. And we're going to have to go back and do all of that. We got to go back and do all of that. All right, there are his eyes. Let's erase just a little bit around. There we go. Got his eyes. All right. All right, we got this part here. Let's take a look at the cheek here. Just a little edge light. Not too much. All right. Let's go right here. See the nose and the wrinkles in his face. We want to be able to keep some of that stuff there. All right. I got to take it easy here. There we go. Right there. Here. All right. All right. There we go. Now we have the side pocket of the eye there. And then we got eyebrow. Not too much. Not too much. Here. Here. Okay. Now the other side of the lip there. Of the mouth. It's like that. And then we'll take this. And we're just going to put a little bit. Let me take that down to a thinner point here. There we go. All right. Okay. And one last thing we want to do, I think, is do that. All right. I think we're good here. Just put a little squigglies off of here. We can smooth a lot of that stuff. There's going to be a lot of blurring going on here. There's no need to overdo some things. All right. Let's turn that off. We're going to go here. Now we're going to grab our tool here. We're going to go our blur tool. Now, if I don't finish this today, that's okay. I'll finish tomorrow. Now watch what I do here. Just very light. Whoops. Blur. Okay, intensity is there. See what's happening? See what the blur is doing? There we go. So the lines are staying, but it's just adding a little blur on those lines. And to the eye, it doesn't look so much like a stroke. It looks like light bouncing off of flesh. As long as the strokes are going in the right direction. So I'm going in an up and down stroke motion. So again, whether I'm painting normally, I'm utilizing reference through photographs or whatever, or I'm utilizing AI, the technique is virtually the same. There we go. And then I'll go through with a glow brush, which is always good to add to this type of thing. And then when you're going with the blur here, what it's doing is adding a certain level of abstraction, which is always great. There you go. There we go. There we go. Yep, I'm liking it. Now let's go here. There we go. All right. Looking good. Not perfect, but good. Not looking for perfection. I'm looking for good. Good enough, and but with heart. We don't just want to slop it out. We do want to try to add something in there that has some sort of craftsmanship to it. A lot of times, just the abstraction can imply craftsmanship, for lack of a better term. There we go. All right, here we go. All right. Now zooming in, that's like really imperfect, but zooming out, it holds up a little bit better. Now let's go here. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Fantastic. All right. So we like this one. Let's take a little bit of this. We don't want to overdo it, even though we've gone in pretty heavy with this stuff here. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to turn on this one. I'm going to turn off that one. Now these are the other lights here. Kind of a soft other directional lights. Not as bright, a little bit more subtle. See what that's doing? It's adding that element on there. There we go. See what's happening here? See how it's adding that? Now, once I add a blending, to add that to a blending channel is really going to take it to the next level. So again, this particular image is all about securing the physical structure. That's what the character is, kind of John Henry effect. So we wanted to really emphasize the musculature because it's part of the character's motif. So we want to totally sanitize it. There we go. There we go. Again, getting rid of the as many of the strokes as you can, but not overdoing it. Because we do want that. Even though I'm doing this, I still want this stuff to read as an illustration. Very important. Right. This is a little bit looser here. So now we're going to go on light. See what's happening? See what's happening, guys? Let's zoom in here a little bit. All right. Sorry about Love Island playing in the background. Everybody loves Love Island. Everybody loves Love Island. All right. There we go. See? There we go. Cool. Now we're going to go here on that bottom lip. The T for right now, I'll leave. Right, so if I have to go back to them, I will. Right there is good. All right. I'm liking that. Now, let's turn this on. We're going to go here to a add dot. Look at that. See what that does? Makes it a little bit brighter there. In fact, it makes me know that I need to go through here and just yeah, see, blend that a little bit there. Yeah, that's good. And then here, it's a little bit brighter. Look at that. Right? But we're going to take that to add glow. See what just happened? That's pretty good. I like that. Now, okay, let's see what happens if I take this one and I'm going to go Command U and I'm going to bump the luminosity down on that. So it's still there, but it's not as much. Okay? Good. I like that. All right, let's go here. Alrighty. Refresh there. Okay, that's Dieselfunk. Just checking my comments, see if anybody's chiming in. If you do want to chime in, please feel free to. Let's go here. Chiming in. Okay, let's mute that guy there. All right, good. Now, got that. Now, here's where it's going to get a little interesting because I want to get to some abstraction, but I also want to make sure that I tone down. Well, I might tone some stuff down. I might erase some stuff is what I might end up doing. All right, so we got that. All right, now. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. That's very interesting. So these are the sketch lines that I used. Right? And for right now, I'm going to keep this. Let's see what happens if I use this as a kind of a abstraction. But we're going to go here, do this. Right? That's good. And we'll use this actually as our bloom, as our light bloom. And I'll explain to you what I mean by light bloom. All right, we got that. That's good. So we're going to call this layer here bloom. All right, so that's all right. That's good. That's good. I like that. All right, now let's go to our hammer. That's good there. We need to turn on the hammer here. There's a hammer, but I want to take that up. So right there. There we go. But what we're going to do here, we're going to darken this up. We're going to take the saturation down on that. Then we're going to take this down. Yeah, like that. And we need to actually move that above this. Yes. Yes, there it is. And we need to, so that's there. And our bloom is right there. And we want to add actually a little bit more to our bloom. Watch what I'm about to do. Let's go here. I'm sorry, I was looking at something that wasn't white. All right. I don't know exactly how this is going to go. All right. There we go. Yes. Liking this abstraction here. Then I'm going to put some thunderbolts in there, and I think we'll have this where we need it. Oh man. All right, let's go to a filter here, and we're going to go to a radio blur again. All right, we need to turn that down quite a bit. There we go. Right there looks good. I like that. Over here, we need to double that up. I'll explain to you what I mean, doubling it up. We need to take this, so we're going to double that up just a little bit, right? Then we're going to group these together, merge selected layers, then we're going to duplicate it again. Right, we're going to do that, just like that. There we go. So that's more abstract, which I like. So we go here, I'm going to merge those selected layers, and then I'm going to apply a blur effect to that. And we'll go with the same motion blur, but we will turn it down. Well, hold on. Let's see here. That's interesting. That a little bit less angle. Let's see if we can get the angle right. That's the strength is pretty intense there. That's interesting. Now, so here's our bloom. So our bloom right now looks pretty harsh. But what happens if we apply blur, just a regular Gaussian blur to that bloom? See what happens? Let's turn that down a little bit. Right there. And we're going to hit that with add glow. And then we're going to turn that down. Yeah, right there. Yep, that's good. Alright. I think we're good there. Alright, now I might want to turn that down just a little bit. Let's take this here. We're going to move that to multiply. There we go. There we go. The bloom here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, good. I'm going to do one last thing here. This time we're going to put this behind the character. Alright, that's set to normal. I'm going to set that to add glow. There we go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to there we go. Oops. Place them out here. Alright. And then we want to take a layer above that. There we go. There we go. Put a little curvy crackle there. There we go. So again, I would ask you guys to contribute to Greg Anderson USA's Kickstarter for Hammer, David Freeman, and Greg Anderson USA. You're seeing once again how I utilize AI for reference. Now, some days I know some days it sounds like I'm giving tutorials, but In fact, what I'm doing is just drawing how I normally draw. But perhaps some people will find this to be of some use. There we go. Ah, yes. Liking that. That looks very, very powerful. Powerful. There we go. All right. Oh, man. All right. Let me turn this off. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I wonder what would happen if, yeah, let's turn that down. No, that's, yeah, right there. Yep, there we go. Maybe not. Let's go duplicate here. So we want to do this, but what we want to do is take that all the way up. But what we want to do is erase, soft eraser, basically erasing that part so it's not so harsh. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, good. So now this is going to be a monotone image. So we're going to go here now with this, and we're going to say, we're going to go with, could go with blue, I could go with, I think I'm going to go with a little orange, yellow. So I have several people I have to finish stuff on that I'm so overdue with, it's just ridiculous. Right, there we go. There we go. Orange here. We'll go purple. All right, let's go here with overlay. Ah, color dodge. Hey, that's interesting. What about multiply? Nope. Color dodge. There we go. That's not bad. But I think that color dodge needs to go underneath some of these tones here. Right? So yeah, that black, it needs to go under the bloom. And possibly, yep, no, it needs to go over that. Well, no, it needs to go over that. There we go. Not Terib. And we will call this image done mostly, but I think I need to add one more thing to it. I'm going to just go here. So I'm going to add, because John Henry had a little Shango hat. Some people would also call it Ogun. That's all right. There we go. All right, boom. All right. We want to take a blur tool here. Let's see. Do we want to take a blur tool? We want to select this here. We're going to put on the outside of that kind of a red, blood red. Yep. And that's selected, and we want to go here to outline selection. We're going to put that as like a 10 or a 5. You'll see what I'm doing here in just a moment. See what's happening? It gives that kind of a red edge there. Try it again, but this time we'll try 20. 20. There we go. Interesting. Now let's take, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see. take this here and we're going to stretch out these guys. There we go. See? These guys out. Make them a little bit sharper. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. Now, here we go. Glow dodge. Ah, look at that. We wanna distort this. We wanna hit this with a blur. Let's see. Distort now. We'll hit that with a blur. That one will be spin blur. Wow, look at that. That's a little bit too rotate less. There we go. And then the shape should be that. And we should tilt this. Nope. Let's go back in the opposite direction. There we go. The strength. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens if we take Command T. There we go. Let's take this right here. There we go. That's a lot. That might be too busy. But, looking at it, let's go to color dodge. And take that down. Nope. Don't know if I like that. Let's see if we take it underneath this. Ah, there we go. That's interesting. It might be too much. Y'all let me know if that's too much. Anyway, we'll call this one here done. We'll go here. Let's put my signature, the blood red, because why not? Alright. There we go. Command T. Drop that down a little bit in size. Okay, that red thunderbolt stuff, that's a bit much. Right now it's set the, let's see if we can experiment with that. Right now it's set the screen, add glow, no. This here. What is that? What is that? Oh no, that's my, this is screwing up, completely screwing up. There we go. Let's color dodge, just try to, look at that. That's interesting. I think I kind of like that. But we'll come back to it. So brightness, color. Oh, look at that. No, it's a bit too much. Vivid light? Nope, too much. Even though it's interesting. Difference? No, definitely not difference. How about soft light? Actually, vivid light is growing on it. But even that's too much. Let's try vivid light again. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Let's go back to color. No, brightness, I think was the one we were looking at. Yes, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to call this in here done. I want to thank you guys for tonight, for doing what you do, and for putting up with me and my technical issues. And I enjoyed doing my image tonight. It was a little bit different. To show you how I utilize my tech, which I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to go export JPEG I'll send this to Greg and David and call it variant final. Right? And I'm going to do something else that's pretty cool. I'm going to go OK. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see. Export time lapse. Yes! We can export the time lapse. You can see here all the drawings, everything that's been done. So we do the whole thing and I call OK. And you guys will see it in just a second here, I think. Let's go export time lapse. And then I will show what it looks like. It's 10:50. We went really late tonight, but that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. All right, we're going to enter it in it, and I'll go anim. All right, good. So we got that. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm sure those to the wrong layer, but that's okay. I'm going to go, and I want to show you guys what this looks like. The time lapse show up? It does not show up. Doggone it. I thought you guys would have seen that. It's okay. Maybe I'll post it on the other thing. It doesn't matter. But here we go. With that, somebody's crying on Love Island now. I don't know why. With that, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for so go to Dieselfunk.com to buy my books, Infinitum and Afrofuturist Tale, Maddie's Rocket, Graphic History of Hip Hop. Alternatively, you can go to my other stuff, Graphic History Hip Hop to GraphicHistoryCompany.com. You can also go to other things, and that'll be okay. All right, and I think it'll all be quite interesting. It'll be quite interesting, and that's what you should do. I'm going to go to my end screen. That's what I'm going to go to. There we go. Dr. Walter Grayson and I did this book called The Graphic History of Hip Hop. Volume 1 is out now. And we're looking forward to doing that. And to do our thing. Also, let's see here. Also, go to Greg Anderson Elise's Kickstarter for Hammer. Also buy his book, Is Nana the Were Spider? Buy the Parable books worked on by David Brain. And also his other books. I think he also did the one with Nydia Core 4. Get the name of it. Lots of interesting things going on. Subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Please follow. Please hit notifications. I've been warned that I need to do that more and more and more. With that, have a good one. Love you guys. Good night.